Good morning, Mike Northcutt here with XD Templates. I want to run through the templates and show you the desktop version and exactly how they work. Now, as you see, we have two that are open right now. We have the Peachtree Model 1 and Peachtree Model 20 signs that are open currently. We're going to show you the differences in the two templates and exactly how they work in this video. The first thing we want to look at is, let's look at Model 1. When we look at Model 1, we see this is the profile of the sign, and this is the actual face of the sign. These templates come directly from Peachtree, and what we're going to do is we're going to look at how we can change this center section inside here, exactly what the customer is going to want. Now over here on the right hand side of the screen, you'll actually see your template layers. When we open these template layers up, you'll see the very top one up here is actually your template itself, which is a locked layer because when you turn it off, the template goes away. Below this, you'll see a green layer. This is your design layer. This is the one you want to use. When you open this up, you'll actually see a blank. This blank is this center section inside here. This will allow you to change the color of the center section along with adding copy, pictures, logos, etc., which we're going to do here in a minute. The bottom layer is called the background layer. What this background layer is this is basically, it's a safety net. What this will do is if you change this blank layer to something that's really strange for a customer and they want to see it, then they say, well, can it just go back to the original? You can easily just turn the layer off and this original layer will turn on. What this is going to allow you to do is not go in and recolor things. You can actually have these layers kind of as a safety net here. So we're going to take and turn these back on. Well, the first thing we're going to do is let's talk about adding a logo to this sign. Let's say somebody has a logo and they want to add it to the sign, and that's all they want. They like the color of the background, everything's good, they just want a logo. Well, as you can see, I'm using Photoshop CC up here, and we're just going to grab an XD logo here, which we have one open. We're going to take and bring this over onto our Model 1, drop it on, and it will sit right on there. Now, of course, we can adjust this, move it around. Now, you notice in Photoshop, when you bring layers in, it's going to bring to the very top right here. What we need to do is take this layer, click on it, and drag it down into our design layer. What's going to allow us to do now is keep everything nice and clean inside the folders, and also if we do need to move this, that way it'll be cropped automatically and clipped. That way we don't have to go in and do any kind of artwork changes, things of that nature. It's going to force it to fit right where it needs to be. Now let's say a customer says, I like that, but I really want to have a different color background behind the logo, which is no problem also. Then on your blank layer, we can double click. When we double click this, it brings up our color picker. Our color picker is going to allow us to change this background without changing what's happening to our logo. It's also going to take and change it everywhere that the sign can be changed. So when we look at this, the customer can go through and pick out a color that he's more apt to like. Let's say he likes that one, kind of a lighter color, kind of nice contrast. By the same token, if he says, well, what did it look like before? You can just turn this layer off, and that's when you get the original background layer. Okay, now that we've got this first template down, let's look at the second template. This is going to be Model 20. What we're going to show you on this is a few different features that some of the templates have, such as changing the base of the sign. What this is going to allow you to do is do the same thing we did on Model 1, which is allow the background to change, put logos, different kinds of placement, but also we can change the base of the sign, which is down in this area here. If you notice, on our template layers, we have the same layers. When we click on Design Layer, you'll actually see there's a new folder down here called Sign Base. What this is the base of the sign, which is completely changeable. I'm going to show you how to make this into a granite base. That way if the customer really wants something, you can do it. So first thing we're going to do is I went and I just found a picture of granite. This can be really any kind of picture you want whatsoever to put inside here, but I grabbed this picture of granite. So I'm going to take this picture of granite, I'm going to drag it over here on the Model 20, and I'm just going to take and place it basically where I want. So I'm going to take and put the model of granite right here, and we can stretch this out. Distortion's not going to be a big deal, and the reason is because this is going to be pretty much abstract anyway. So we have this going all the way across the base. Now in the last video we talked about how Photoshop always places everything in the very top. Let's drag this down to the sign base. So now we've got a granite background on our sign, which looks really good. We can do the same thing. We can close this file now, And we can do the same thing. Let's go ahead and drop a logo on top of this, same way we did last time. Let's go to Model 20. Let's drop on the XD logo. So now we've got an XD logo on top of Model 20 with a granite base. So there's a lot of different things, a lot of different functionality that you can get into with these templates. We're going to drag this down, and we're going to take and put this down here in our design layer where it's supposed to be. Of course, when somebody says, I want channel letters, I want to have a backlight on it at nighttime, you can always go in and you can add an outer glow to this, which we can take and see that right here. So let's go ahead and put an outer glow on here. Let's simulate this is going to be at nighttime, so we're going to take and spread this out just a little bit. So we have this bit of an outer glow here, which looks pretty good. So it gives you an idea of how you can use the templates very quickly, very easily. When they're done, you can send these directly to the manufacturer for an estimate. Also, this is going to show your customer that you care about what their sign is going to look like. When you hand this to them and they say, this is exactly what your sign is going to look like, we can build this to meet these specs, you're showing your customer you really care about the impression you're giving them and also the presentation you're making. If you have any questions about this process, feel free to email me. I'm always here to assist you.